Hi Cancer, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol and this is going to be your mid-month for August 2024 reading. And in today's reading we're going to be looking at a pattern that's showing up in your life for healing right now. And oftentimes when a pattern shows up, it's something we're aware of. We've seen it before. And we can just kind of put it away, deny it, resist dealing with it. And oftentimes we can start to blame ourselves because, why is this coming up again? And so we're going to be looking in part 2 how there's something in your shadow that's impacting or driving this pattern in your life to show up. And it's something that we need to heal. And so if you're not familiar with the term shadow or shadow work, because that's what we're really doing essentially, I left a really good video for you in my description box called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Healing. And it really is a video about facing your own shadow. And it's taken from my other channel called Carol Cares. And on that channel I have a lot of videos to help you out with your mental health struggles and your healing journey that you're on, and this is just one of the videos. So have a look at that if you're interested in how to do shadow work or a little bit more information on it. And so once we kind of identify what's driving this pattern to show up, we're going to finally ask the tarot for some guidance as to how you can begin to heal this, whatever it is that's sitting in your shadow, because you want to put an end to this pattern. And in order to do that, you have to go inwards and you have to find out, okay, what's sitting in my shadow. So I'm also going to leave you at the end, just a couple announcements before we get going on the reading. I'm going to leave you with my August reading that I did for you, Cancer. I'll leave that at the end. And also I just want to say to you that I have finally put out a little video on personal readings. So I'm, for the first time ever, because this is a young channel, I'm offering personal readings to people, and so there's a link on the screen. There's also going to be a link in my comment box, in my description box, so you can even go and look at the video to see where it's going to take you. And you'll have a number of readings. There's 5 readings that you can choose from, readings that you've seen on this channel before. So have a look at that if you're interested in it, because I'm offering you a 10% discount until September 1st. All right, so, so we're going to start off with the Tarot Grand Lux for this reading, and then we're going to clarify it with the Rider-Waite deck. So I'm going to get started and ask the Tarot to give me one card for Cancer, what pattern is showing up in Cancer's. That, I have to go and get it. That flew, right? That's the farthest the cards ever got. The Knight of Cups. Oh, Knights are all about, I call them my freedom fighters, and they're like, I want freedom. So, whoa, this is a strong one. Strong one. And this one's about freedom to have authentic relationships. Real good relationships in your life. Real. And this is what this is all about. Okay, so what pattern is driving this card that flew across the room for Cancer right now? What's coming up in the shadow to heal? Oh, we got a couple cards here. 3 cards. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the first one, and it's going to be, I don't want that many for introductory card. It's going to be the 5 of Coins, which is the 5 of Pentacles is coming up for healing. Yeah, I thought it was 2, and then I saw 3, and I went, oh, okay. Okay, 5 of Pentacles is coming up for healing. And what advice does the Tarot have for you to begin to heal this pattern? What's the advice from the Tarot? One card, please. This deck's pretty good at spitting out one card when I ask for one card, because it's fairly new. Oh, that one doesn't even want me to deal. So I'm going to pick this one here. You have the High Priestess. High Priestess, which is, that's coming out for you as healing. Normally I could kind of just put it back in, but it was like, no, you're not dealing. You're taking this card. Okay. All right. I've pre-shuffled these decks right before I came on. So Knight of Cups. Let's have some clarifiers for that. That one that flew. He looks like he's sitting in a position now wanting authentic relationships. Can we have 2 to 3 cards to clarify this? Well, we got, we're going to make up for it. We got 5. No, we got too many cards here. 7 or 8 there. I find with the humid weather, sometimes these cards tend to... Okay, we'll try this again. Knight of Cups, please. 2 to 3 cards. Tend to stick together. Okay. Oh, it wants to give me these cards, but not as many this time. Okay. Knight of the King of Pentacles. It's like, no, you're having these cards whether you like it or not. Ace of Swords in reverse. I listen sometimes. 6 of Wands. Not all the time. The Chariot. Okay, so let's behave now, Tarot. 5 of Coins, please. Now that I've listened to you, you have to listen to me. 5 of Coins, please. 2 to 3 cards. I just think there's a big message in the first line there for your pattern. 2 to 3 cards for the 5 of Coins, please. One. Oh, there it is. Okay, so you got the 4 of Swords in reverse. And you got the High Priestess. Ooh, interesting. So it's in your shadow. And then it comes out here as what you need to heal. Very interesting, but it's in reverse. So, okay, so High Priestess in reverse. Can we have some clarifiers for that one, please? Queen of Swords in reverse. I like that. Came right on my hand. One more, please. Right on my hand. If you can do that again, that'd be awesome. Okay, so Page of Wands in reverse. The Hangman in reverse. I always have to stare at that one in reverse. And the 6 of Swords. Interesting. All right, you have an interesting reading here. So we start off with, like I said, the Mr. Freedom Fighter here. He's my knight. My knights in my deck are all about the freedom fighters. It's an adolescent part of us. I mean, we all want freedom. We all want freedom in our life for different reasons, for different things. This one wants freedom for authentic relationships. There's a part of you that wants to be able to experience authentic relationships and what it feels like to be in a real relationship. You know, whether with the same gender, opposite gender, you know, it's and sometimes a lot of it's just all across the board where it's all your relationships where you want them to be real and authentic and you're just feeling like, I don't know what it is. There's something about me. Is there something about them? But it's this pattern that's showing up all the time that I just don't feel like I can connect to people. And next card that comes out, which explains a little bit here, is the King of Pentacles. And the King in my deck, first of all, is our ego self. It's our ego self. And it sometimes can wreak a little bit of havoc, a lot of havoc. It can block. It can put up some blocks for us when it comes to relationships. And this particular Pentacle King, he's all about the body, and he's all about he will block you from getting back in your body and feeling your emotions, and he's also about, you know, unworthiness, and the Pentacle is about unworthiness, so he can often block that too for you, that getting to that feeling of healing that unworthiness in yourself. And so, but the fact is here that you have your ego self that is blocking you from having authentic relationships. It's almost like it's a protector Our ego self is a big protector. They're worried about safety. It's interesting that you end with a safety card here in your reading. And so what are they protecting you from? Like what's going on here? Why is there a need for your ego self to protect you from relationships? Like, why can't you have these authentic relationships here? And even like, here's the Ace of Swords here. And the Ace of Swords is a gift from the universe. It's a gift of the sword. The sword is your authentic self, your authenticity, who you are. And it's blocked. It's in reverse. So it's like you're not accepting it. You're not accepting this offer to find out, who you are. And behind it is explains a lot more here. These cards, I can see why it was a little bit of a story here that wanted to come out for you. You have the Six of Wands in reverse, and my sixes in my deck, first of all have a duality to them. So on one hand, this card looks like it's a winning card. It looks like they've won a battle. He has the victory wreath here, so it's a card of victory is what it looks like. And tarot readers will call it a card of victory, but because it's a six, there's something hidden here underneath that green blanket if you were to pull it away. And, the opposite of winning is losing. And so there's a real loss here that's sitting here for you that is blocked. And so I'm wondering if you know about this loss in your life that you've had. Or maybe it's recent, maybe it's in the past, and we'll look at what's in the shadow here, but there's a real loss here that's coming up for you. And with loss is grief. And so the ego self will often block our grief from coming forward. It will block us from getting back to our real self. Because the ego self is absolutely petrified of emotions and, in particular, grief. The ego self is so scared of your grief that it thinks it's going to swallow you and eat you alive. And so you have this grief that is sitting here coming up for you to grieve. And, there might have been a real loss from your childhood, and where since you've just that has prevented you from having authentic relationships because you need to grieve. There's some real need for some grief here, this pattern that's coming up. And the Chariot card comes in, and the Chariot card speaks to me of definitely a movement. I mean, people talk about tarot cards, readers will call movement. But if you look at this card right here, this is this charioteer who has guided his chariot with these two sphinxes, right? They're not moving. They've been sitting there. They're stone. And he's been using his mind for so long to try to control these sphinxes, because at any time they could go this way, right? And so this is a card. It's a major arcana card. It's number 7. So it's about this introspective card, where it's asking you, telling you that it's time to take your focus from your head and how you've been controlling this whole situation here. And now it's time to go inwards. That's the movement. That's the movement that needs to take place here. But the last thing that this ego self wants you to do, because it's blocking everything behind here, is to go inwards and touch that grief that you need to feel in order for you to start to experience what it means to have an authentic relationship. And so let's look at what's coming up in your shadow here. Well, the first card that comes up is the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Coins. And the Five of Pentacles is a real card about unworthiness. It's Pentacle itself is about your body, your self-worth, and how you feel about yourself. And so it's not a card that's come out as a clarifier. It's the main card here. You have some unworthiness about yourself that needs healing. And so there's people in your life that told you that you didn't matter, that showed you didn't matter, that didn't support you, didn't validate you, where you felt like you were a piece of crap. And this is what you're carrying around. It's coming from your shadow. And this is why you need to grieve. And this is why you need to grieve. You need to go inwards. You need to grieve what you believe about yourself, what you were told about yourself. When you were younger, because this whole section right here, the shadow, it's everything you've repressed from your childhood. There's a 4 of Swords here. And the Swords is all about, Swords represents the mental body. And so it's all about your mental belief systems that you have about yourself, what people told you. Well, look what it's done to you. Normally when this is not in your shadow in an upright position, this card will say, well, it's time to go inwards. It's time to go inwards and take some time out and, maybe heal some of these mental thoughts that you've been feeling about yourself. But this is in your shadow. This is when you were a child. You didn't have the capability. And this is, when I see this sitting in your shadow, the 4 of Swords to me tells me that as a child, when whatever happened to you, and it could be an event, it could be many events, a series of events, it's our trauma adding up here, where we couldn't deal with this big emotion of grief. And with this unworthiness, I'm going to say there's a big emotion of shame as well here. And those two kind of go hand in hand a lot of times. You can grieve shame, and you can grieve your shame as well at the same time. Well, as a child, you couldn't do that. Those emotions are too big for you. You couldn't do it when you were younger, right? And now it's coming up for you as an adult, saying, you can do this as an adult. You could not do it when you were younger, but you can do it now. And then here's the interesting card that comes out that's sitting in your shadow. And then it's the focus card right here in our 3rd line for advice from the tarot. It's the High Priestess. She's in reverse here. Who is the High Priestess? Well, she's a major arcana card. She is she's the first half of the feminine energy in the major arcana. The second one is the Empress number 3. And the Empress talks about our emotions. This card talks about our intuition, our inner knowing, our inner guidance. Those are all beautiful feminine qualities that we all have, but have been quite repressed in all of us. And so here you are in your shadow. There's this inner knowing, this inner guidance, that tells you who you are. And it's underneath all of this shame that was covered up when you were younger. You had a knowing. You had this intuition. You knew who you were. You knew who your authentic self was. You knew which way to go, which way to take. But yet people told you differently and led you astray. And so now it's coming up for you to kind of go, let's examine this. So how can you heal this? Well, first card that comes up is the High Priestess again, but she's in reverse. She's blocked. And so this feminine quality of yours that you have, this inner knowing, this inner guidance, because you get to go inwards and you get to really rely on, what do I need to know about myself? And she's blocked here. And oftentimes she's blocked because you have your ego self that's out and blocking. Your ego self will block these feminine qualities from coming out. And so the tarot wants you to get in touch with, wants you to go inwards. I mean, you did have an inwards card here. You couldn't go inwards when you were younger. You couldn't do the work when you were younger. It was too much for you. So you put it away. We put them away. We store them in our bodies. But the tarot wants you to go inwards now. Because Right behind the High Priestess is another beautiful feminine card. It's our Queen. And the Queen in my deck is our feminine side. We all have that feminine and masculine side. It doesn't matter what gender you are. But here's the Queen. She's blocked as well. So you have two queens here that are right beside each other, or two feminine energies that are blocked by your ego. And this one is your queen with the sword, with the authentic you, right? It's all sitting here. It's all sitting underneath your grief, and it's all sitting underneath your shame, right? Mr. Freedom Fighter here tonight, there's a part of you that wants to be real, that wants to be you, that wants to be authentic, that wants to have authentic relationships. But you have to find out who you are first. And you're going to do that by going inwards, and you're going to deal with this shame and this grief that's behind here because it was blocked. And here's your little page. Here's the inner child of yours. This is the inner child that holds. You know, we have more than one inner child. I know mainstream psychology likes to say we have just one, but we can have many inner children. And this inner child holds your wand. This inner child knows what direction you are meant to go into. This inner child knows what you are meant to do, why you're here. But that's all covered up by this grief and this shame and this trauma, this stuff that people told you. Because it's blocked. Your inner child is blocked here. These are, you know, all blocked here because your ego self is really blocking it. And the Hanged Man here comes in, and it's in reverse. So in an upright position, the Hanged Man talks about seeing things in a different perspective, feeling comfortable in your skin. And it's in reverse here. So the universe wants you to see things in a different perspective. The universe wants you to see, you know, what would it be like if you grounded your body, got into your body? What would that be like if you got in touch with your inner guidance and your authenticity? Those are all feminine aspects of yourself. And you do that by grounding your body and getting back into your body, because the body itself is our feminine side and our head is a masculine, right? Where we live up in our heads so much, but we forget about our body. And then you end with the Six of Swords. What does this mean? This is an individual taking this, looks like a woman and a child, to a safer place. I mean, we have safer waters over here, leaving the rough waters here. And so I'm just going to leave this. It says, you know, it's from the universe, and whatever it means for you, it's a question of, do you need to get safe? Are you in a safe place to do this work? Because in order to do this healing journey and to really go inwards, get back in our body and start to feel, we need to feel safe first. That's why I'll often tell you at the end, you know, stay safe. Because in order to do this, we need to be safe. If we are in a relationship with someone where we don't feel safe, it becomes very, very difficult to do this journey. But the safety card has come out, and the universe wants you to make sure that you're in a safe place. Sometimes it might mean we need to leave. We need to walk away. Maybe this is what this can mean as well. It's you know, it's your situation. It's a general reading. And so Cancer, I think what I'm going to leave you with is there is a real call here for you to go inwards, to get back into your body. So I'm going to, because you need to learn how to ground your mind, and you need to learn how to ground your body, because your ego self is out here right now and is kind of controlling the show, preventing you from getting to know you. I'm going to leave you with some grounding videos, and they're excellent videos that I did. And I take you out in my backyard and I show you how to ground yourself. And most of us don't know how to do that, and don't even know we're supposed to do that. And so I'll leave you with grounding videos. I'll leave you with your August video. And I want you to have compassion for yourself, Cancer, for, you know, what you're going through right now. This is a tough journey, but it's the most important journey of your life. So I want you to stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.